Hey everybody, I'm Sandy, or you can call me Sandra D. That is my middle name, D-E-E. So I am a Sandra D, and yes, I've heard the song all my life, but I do like my name. And I am a mom of a 5-month-old right now. His name is Jonah Wake, and we struggled getting pregnant for 10 years before we had this little guy. Say hi, Jonah. So that is a swing you hear in the background, but I'm a mom, so we're just going to keep vlogging with the beautiful music in the background. I wanted to talk today about some things that helped Josh and I when we came home from the hospital after our family left, just to stay on top of life. Because let's face it, when you have a newborn, everything is survival mode, right? Am I right? But I also had terrible postpartum. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get into that into another vlog. And also our IVF journey. That'll be, I'm sure, several vlogs. But yeah, there were things that we were terrible at pre-baby. And that were like keeping up our house. We were terrible at keeping the kitchen clean and cleaning up at night and keeping the living room clean. And we were terrible at doing laundry. We'd go like 2 weeks. Like there'd be no undergarments left, no socks, and like the closets would be empty. And we're like, oh, I need to do laundry. Have you guys ever done that? I'm sure it's not just us. But when we had Jonah, I was like, what are we gonna do? We're like terrible people. We can't even keep things organized and clean. And what's sad about that is like I'm really good at organizing. Apparently I'm really good at organizing other people's stuff. I mean, our stuff is organized, don't get me wrong. We lived in a condo for 2 years that was like a hotel room, basically. Because we had an opportunity to live on the beach and live it up for a year. And we actually made it 2 years. And that's part of our IVF journey, which we'll talk about in another time. But we had gotten rid of lots of stuff in order to move into the condo. And that helped with getting rid of clutter. But when we moved back into a townhouse that we're in now, we had to fill the spaces with things. And we've been able to stay on top of not just having lots of stuff around. You know those vacuum sealed bags that you put stuff in and you suck, you know, the air out of it and it condenses down into like this tight flat thing, basically. Well, I feel like that's how we were living in our condo. And when we moved, it's like somebody popped open all those bags and was like, ta-da, here's everything. Like it's, I don't know how we survived in that little condo with all the stuff hidden. Like I was really good at hiding stuff that we didn't have to pay for storage for. So I don't know. That's how I feel. Anyway, I'm coming back to the subject. That's probably going to happen a lot. But so yeah, we weren't great at like keeping things clean. But when we had Jonah, my parents and one of my sisters came down to help us just to keep things clean and to make dinners, lunch, breakfast, whatever. And my mom always was really good at keeping things clean when I lived at home. And of course, I just noticed it when she was here. Things were just always clean, 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 clean. And I thought, okay, this cannot be too difficult. Even with several of us in the house, it didn't seem like a lot. So I thought if I can just tackle the living room and the kitchen and keep it clean on a daily basis, that would be amazing for me. And so I did, little by little. And of course, when they left and it was just Josh and I and Jonah, we were in survival mode. There was no like eating at all, basically. And he's small, obviously, so he didn't have a lot of things just cluttering up that he was playing with around the living room. So it was fairly easy to keep clean. The only thing we had were like bottles that we had to wash out. But I just, little by little, I started to tidy up. And Josh likes to put Jonah to sleep at night. And so I made it part of my routine that when Josh goes upstairs to put Jonah down to sleep at night, that I would go into the kitchen and clean up anything that I hadn't gotten to during the day. Like if I didn't clean up after dinner, then everything would be clean at that point when Josh put Jonah to sleep. And then I'd come into the living room and clean up things in the living room. Like I have a little bin. It's like, right, that basket, that brown basket. It's got, you know, little teethers and toys and rattles and all sorts of things that he can play with. And I'll put things in there. And then this little play gym that we have, I'll usually stick it on top of the chair that I'm sitting in, just so it's like off the floor. And then as you can see over there, kind of behind the, it's called a sofa. Yes, it is, folks. There is a little rocker and like a pillow that I use to help feed him. And so it's not like everything's put away in a closet and you can't see anything. It's just like there's stuff off the floor. My coffee table is clean and the pillows are not strewn about. They're actually in their proper places and things are clean for the day. Now today it's fairly clean because I've been gone for most of the day. We had a little outing. You're right, Jonah? Yes, we did. We had a little outing. So today so far everything has stayed fairly clean, which will make tonight even that much more amazing for me. And the other thing that I've been trying to get better at is meal preparation. I do okay with meal planning. It's not the greatest, and that's a whole nother story. But I realized that rather than just having consistency with bath time, to getting him in his PJs, to maybe reading a book, to feeding him to sleep, like that's a consistent nightly routine. We don't like bathe him every night, but yeah, that's the consistency. I needed to even back it up earlier in the evening and have a more consistent flow to meal prep and meal time. So I just recently started trying to feed him at 5. And then once we're done, we'll go into the kitchen and we'll try to make an easy meal, something easy. Like I just don't even try to do like big recipes at this point. Something easy and hopefully healthy. And then try to have it done by 6-ish. That way, if Josh is home, then we can eat at a decent time and not be 9 o'clock at night like we would do before kids. And then that allows Daddy and Jonah to have playtime, and I can clean up the kitchen then if I want to, or get the majority of it done. Or if we want to play with Jonah together, then I can wait until Josh puts him down to sleep. So I would encourage you, if you don't have a good routine like that, maybe you have multiple kids and you have a great routine. I'd love to hear what you do, so please comment below. But if you don't, maybe try to put that into place. And if you and your spouse put your child or children to sleep at night, maybe you both tackle the kitchen. Either you try to do it right after dinner and just get it done while one of you plays with the children, or maybe you both tackle it after the babies have gone to bed, and that way it cuts down half the time. And if you're a single parent, then there is grace. Thank God there is grace, and things do not have to be perfect. And I am a recovering perfectionist, so yes, there is grace, and I do not get it right all the time. Lord knows I do not get it right all the time. I am trying just as much as you guys are. And there's a book. Ooh, let me grab it real quick. Let me grab it. There's this book that I've been reading. It's a good book. some of the things I already knew really well, but I love reading I love reading books on people who organize and declutter, and I just like to know what people do. I like to know their journeys and what works for them and what doesn't. But it's called A Simplified Life by Emily Ley. I don't know if you have heard of this book or not, but she talks about her family and how she has organized, streamlined, decluttered. She talks about meal prep, covers a whole bunch of things, and you can take some tips out of that and definitely use them. She also has a couple of like recipes, like some of her family favorite recipes. And so yeah, it's just cool to read what other people do. And so if you're interested in that, I definitely tell you to check it out. And if there are any tips or anything that you'd like to comment on, or if there's anything that you want me to talk about or share, then comment below, because I will put that in the queue for an upcoming vlog. All right? Say bye, Jonah. Bye, Jonah.